everyone. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm with the no for this time. No,
Man, I'm not.
I can't take you serious.
I'm so leaving all of this in the video. Welcome. Ready? Use yourself. Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by my office today. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Now, as you can see by today's title of the video, we're going to be doing a bit of a discussion on men's mental health. And I thought that such an important topic should be discussed with an important man in my life who's waiting to come on. So, here he is, Jonathan, my boyfriend.
Hey, internet world.
So, as I was saying, today we're going to discuss a bit about men's mental health, but this is going to be a very casual, informal discussion. I will do a follow-up video with, more in-depth information on this topic, but for today, we're just chilling and gabbing, okay? So, Jonathan, tell the MHM family something about yourself.
It's a hard question. Like, what exactly do you want to know?
Anything you want to tell us.
I'm a lover of dogs, plants, nature, the outdoors. Passionate about life itself. I'm a Christian, and my family, my girlfriend.
How important is mental health to you as a man?
To be honest, I don't consider it consciously enough. It's only until I feel stressed, and I might actually take a step back and try to reflect on things that are bothering me. And to be honest, I don't think I took it seriously enough, because being a quiet person by nature, at least towards other people, I'm a bit withdrawn. So it's a bit hard reaching out to people when you should.
And even on the topic of reaching out, how often have you heard reports of men experiencing mental issues like stress or depression or anything like that? How often do you hear other men talking about these things?
I see and hear it all the time, perhaps every day in different forms. Stress, depression, and you know that it would take different forms, or people would try to deal with it in different ways, by substance abuse, drinking, smoking, drugs, other habits that are damaging to the person. And I think it's just all around us. It's just people don't pay attention to it because it's normalized, and we just learn to suck it up and get on with our daily lives.
You might hear general reports of men experiencing, depression and stress and these kinds of things. But how often do you hear reports of men experiencing things like domestic violence and abuse?
To me, it's once in a blue moon. I might read a report in the papers or maybe online where a man might be the victim of domestic violence, and it always is a surprise because most of the time women are the victims. So it's very rare you would read of things like that.
Right?
I read or hear of it.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, it might not necessarily be that women are mainly the victims. The problem is that men do not report because they're ashamed, and this is actually something that happens. It's sad if a man goes to the police station, and I've actually heard of incidents like this when a man goes and reports, I am being abused, and the police would laugh and be like, boy, are you serious? How you taking beat up from some woman, And that's actually the sad reality. So it's not that it's not there, it's just that it's underreported because there's a stigma.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question in terms of society. How do you from a male's perspective see society's view of males' mental health? Do you think that they do enough?
Like Chinese society or society at large?
Well, we could do both. You could start at home and then we could go to the larger picture.
I think guys are just expected to be strong in every way, physically and mentally. It's assumed that they have all their bases covered and they can tough it out. You grew up being told to be a man, be strong. But we're not trained to, as a guy, we're not trained to seek help when we need it. When it comes to mental issues, we oftentimes find ourselves in dark places, and people have different ways of dealing with it. For me, I have God, I have my family, I have you, even my dogs, of course. Things that are my support system in life, and essential to me, but other people might seek to do other things that end up harming them. I guess it's because there's help out there for them. We try to seek help all the time, or most times guys want to do things in a macho way, tough it out.
Yeah. So I'm understanding that you're saying that the way society views men's mental health is like
it's not really.
It's not there. You don't get much support from society.
Of concern.
Yeah, because they expect you to be a man.
Yeah.
Be a man.
Yeah.
Be macho. You can't show weakness, and that's actually another stigma in the mental health community, where men suffering from depression and any other mental health illness or mental illness, those things are viewed as weaknesses. Like, a man is not expected to feel certain things, feel certain emotions, or outwardly show those emotions because it's supposed to be a sign of weakness. And this is something that has been going on for years and years and years and years and years in history. So that is still something that remains with us today, and that's a reason that you would find men struggling to say something. So let's backtrack a bit onto the whole question or the topic of domestic abuse. If you, as a man, were experiencing domestic violence, if I used to be beating you up,
well, that's what I was going to ask.
would you?
If you'd be abusing me, I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, but if that were the case, or okay, not me, if you were a man, would you actually report it? Would you find yourself being comfortable enough to go and report it?
Well, first of all, I won't be getting abuse.
Why?
Or be abused.
Because?
It's just not anyway. Would I feel comfortable reporting it?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not that I don't consider the importance of seeking help and doing the right thing, I guess, and I would try to solve the issue between myself and you as the hypothetical abuser. Try to.
So you would.
But it's kind of a hard question.
Why?
I mean, things have to be that bad for me to go to the police.
Or like, would you seek counseling? Would you try to seek help if you were struggling and it was so bad?
Yeah, I would.
Would you feel comfortable or confident enough to like go and say,
yes,
I get him beat up, help me?
I would say I have problems at home.
Okay. Do you do the same thing in this one? Like up there. Alright, guys. Yeah. What will you tell your fellow males out there, someone or persons who might be suffering from some form of mental illness or just a difficult situation at home, what would be your advice to someone? Like they're suffering in silence. What would be your advice?
I think you need to put a pause in your life. Take some time out with yourself and just go things over. I like to do that, reflecting, seeing where I am, taking mental notes and even making physical notes of what's going on, and taking a stock of your life. And from there you can say what needs fixing, what needs to be done. And if it's that bad, or even if it's not that bad, you can always reach out to people. I find talking things with people that you trust, it really helps. Taking something off your chest, off your mind, it really puts that pep back in your step. Praying about it, as a Christian, that helps a lot too. Just pouring your heart out to God. You really need that support network. And if you feel comfortable reaching out to mental health professionals, counselors, psychologists at the mental health unit, I would also suggest that.
Yeah, so basically just stop suffering in silence. Try as much, I mean it's something difficult, but try as much as possible to at least seek somebody that you could trust. Even if you don't want to go to a therapist or anything like that, just don't hold it in. Don't keep it to yourself.
Oh, I find that channeling your stress, your negative energy, negative thoughts into constructive things really helps. Finding an outlet. So for me, a few years ago, I had a quarter life crisis. Don't ask it what. So it wasn't that bad. Anyway, I found that exercise, really working my body out, helped me a lot. It took my mind off things. Because for me, every waking moment, I used to spend fixating on that thing, which was bad. So I guess I was at a point of distress and anxiety, and it wasn't good for me in any way. So I focused a lot of my energies into exercise, into outdoor exercise, what you call calisthenics, that's body weight exercise, and that helped me a lot. It was very therapeutic. And I think that's a key word. You need to find something that is therapeutic for you. Not bad things, but good things. Things that will build you up. And you find that outlet, and it worked for me. And if you have that power in your hands to remove yourself from that situation, I would also suggest that you take that trigger away if it's possible. You move away from that situation.
Yeah, definitely. You were talking about the support system, not like family or friends, but on a more professional basis. Do you feel that there's enough of that in Guyana, enough support systems, mental health help? Do you think we have enough of that established?
No, we don't. And it's not just the lack of institutional help and resources. I think it's also more the general culture not to reach out, even if it was there. These things were in place. I have a very strong feeling people would still keep to themselves. Because Guyanese culture, we don't really rate mental health, psychology, psychological issues. We make fun of it. We see what you call mad people running all over the place. And then we label them as a scourge of society, of the streets. They're always bothering you with a stench and begging.
Yeah.
But they're there because no one is helping them. We don't even have the heart to do something about it.
Yeah.
And I'm even guilty of that because I would pity them, but I haven't done anything tangible to be the difference in that regard. And it's just a seriously revolutionary, earth-shaking shift in our culture needs to happen.
Yep.
As it relates to mental issues, mental health issues.
Yeah. So, I want to ask you a bit of a touchy question. You feel free to not answer it. But have you ever experienced?
No.
You never wait till I ask the question. Have you ever?
What is a mental issue?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask it?
Okay.
Have you ever experienced any sort of mental challenge or mental illness at any point? You know, I suffered from depression. I still have a bit of issues with it, just not as much. But have you ever experienced any sort of mental health challenge that you're aware of?
Yeah, actually, even just scratching just now reminded me that I have an anxiety problem, more along the line of even obsessive compulsive. That's what?
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
A compulsion.
OCD.
OCD, yeah. Well, I'm not totally OCD. It's just a little bit, yeah, like in terms of sanitation and the way things should be put. I oftentimes expect people to follow suit, and when they don't, I have fits of rage. Most of the time in the inside, because you'd expect people to be a certain way, but if they're older than you or even in higher ranking positions or people that you care about, it's kind of hard telling them because it might hurt their feelings. This role is just meant to be put in order, and most people don't do the right thing. You know, littering is just drives me up a wall. They trigger me. And from that stems my anxiety. I have an anxiety issue. Yeah.
I laugh
sometimes.
I laugh because I wonder how much times I drove you into mental or internal fits of rage. Because I know that I don't put things back the way you would have had them before.
Well, I'm not totally there. As I can tolerate it. I guess it's a good thing I'm not totally OCD. Because if I were, I guess
I'd be in trouble. I'd get left.
Yeah, probably. Because I think a proper OCD person would, you know, I probably don't look OCD, so probably half and half.
Okay, we have one more question for Jonathan, and that would be, on behalf of all of the men in the entire world, what do you require of society to help to enhance and normalize men's mental health?
That's a hard question, to be honest. Well, if I'm to speak with my mind and my heart, I would just say that you could start off by making mental health something normal to talk about. Making mental health issues that men face something normal to talk about. Let it be something that you can freely speak about without the fear of stigma or being laughed at, having fun poked at you. You need to change that macho culture, not having the fear of stigma, because you simply need help. You need rehabilitation, even counseling. Of course, from the government side of things, they need to equip the health sector, the mental health sector, with the appropriate personnel, training, tools to cater to people's mental health needs. That's the broad side of the brush I would use to answer that question. And I guess media and culture and arts need to follow suit with this kind of program. They need to put the message up there that it's normal for people to need a break sometimes from not living but life.
Yeah.
The stress of life.
It's hard.
You don't have to be a G all the time or have things on pat all the time. Don't pat.
Don't
You
fight.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
Things down to the T. We need rest.
Yeah.
Even God rested on the seventh day. If God had to take a break, well,
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. I think that society needs to stop telling men that it's not okay to express how they feel. It's not okay to cry. It's not okay to just say that they're sad, or whatever it is. Like, I think that's something that we really need to stop doing, telling a man that he's not a man because he shed a few tears or he broke down. So I think that we need to do better in that regard and understand that men, they're human beings as well. They have feelings. They are allowed to feel stressed out. They're allowed to feel overwhelmed. They're allowed to do everything that you would usually say. Well, not everything, but for the most part, females are so delicate, and they're expected to cry and expected to be emotional and all these things. And if a man wants to cry, let him cry. Let him feel. Don't force him or pressure him to suppress those feelings for the sake of being a man or being macho or strong. So, yeah. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you for being here. I know that it took a lot out of you, but you did it. So I just want to thank Jonathan for joining me today and for the wholesome discussion. I trust that somebody, and I'm sure someone, would have benefited from it. You can feel free to check out my Instagram page, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because I'm still seeing that there are a lot of people looking at the videos but they're not subscribing. Please subscribe. It's free. If you enjoy this content, if you want to you see, I can check. If you want to remain updated and informed on mental health matters, you can feel free to subscribe. Follow my Instagram page where you get more information on today's topic and other mental health related matters. And remember to become informed on the matters of mental health, because your mental health matters.
Yeah, we chime in there.
Bye.